Hello, everyone. I promised you all that I was going to go to do the deep dive on the W next, but I lied. I'm going to do T. I am doing this because in the past week, there has been so much awareness to T in my coaching work and my own work. And also, selfishly, I have a workshop this week where I really want to be able to go a little deeper on the genius of T. So I am starting this with T now, and I will come to W next. So let me chat a little bit about in my own words, what I think of when I think of this genius of tenacity. And the first thing that comes to my mind is a finisher. And that's, not surprising that language is in there, and some of the genius pairing, the loyal finisher and things like that, is that the loyal finisher, that's E and T, but it's the finisher is the T. They're not just finishers, they're realistic. And I particularly have been noticing of the people that I work with that have, a genius in either W or I and T, and how, there's a very those are polar geniuses, and what it might be like to show up and be in that space where you dream so innately and you're a realist. So it's not surprising when we meet people with that's there's a distress, if you will, on some level, to be able to navigate innately and so powerfully these two different altitudes. I also think when I think of a T, I think of somebody who has innate foresight. So they impact the importance of what we are talking about right now in the future. So there's this continual lighthouse effect, if you will, of being able to see down the line in the future what's important, which, they also have then also ability to sense consequences in a different way than, say, like me from my D, from my discernment. I can discern through different things, but it doesn't have as strong as a foresight. It's more of just innate instincts or intuition now that you can't always explain. And so T's can come across as highly pragmatic as well. They're also highly vulnerable to perfectionism because they see the details. The details matter to them in a very significant way. So if and when any of those details are not met, then comes in the judge, either from within or on others, because the details matter so much. And so I say all this to share that, like, another observation to make is that it's very easy and vulnerable for T's to be subject to burnout or stress because they care so much, and they're the first to take more than their share of responsibility in anything that's being worked on. So you can have some, heroing, just like you do from E's, come out in these lower altitudes. I think it's important to recognize, especially uh, for those of you that have like T as your third. I did a little deep dive on what the third letter means, and I've been paying a lot of attention to that as well. And I think I've really started to notice that those that have T as their third level, that shows up quite significantly in the way of having a sense of frustration because others aren't seeing the importance of this or the importance of that. And so we need to listen to our T's. I'll say that to everybody that has that working frustration, like I do at the very end, is sometimes it feels like it's slowing things down. But often what they're doing is slowing things down in order to move more quickly. So we really, really need to pay attention to that. And those of us that don't have it to lean into, being able to be more curious about the consequences down the road if we are to, postpone, put off, anything like any of those things that we think will work themselves out. It's just to invite some sense of making room for that, or at minimum, surrounding yourself and entrusting yourself with a strong T to support you. We've heard many times before people ask, so what are the best letters for a CEO or any kind of C level or whatever it is, these higher altitude geniuses are often assumed to be at higher altitude roles. And I love the language that I've heard Cody from the Working Genius and others say of, like, the best leader is a self-aware leader. so that we understand and recognize that any letter pairings can lead at any altitude, as long as they're supported by and looking into the system to really supplement what is needed that we might not have innately. All right, so that's it right now for the T. I'm going to get to the W next. Thank you.